Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Par 4 podcast presented by GolfMagic. Could be titled Par 3. What do we think? Is it Par 3 now? Par 3?
I mean, it still kind of works. I mean,
It's still 4, isn't it?
There's Par 3s in golf.
Couldn't say it better myself. Well, there is Par 3s in golf. Heard it here first. So, today you're joined by Willie Woods, our token 28 handicap, and Johnny Percival, our reviews editor for GolfMagic, and myself, Alex Lodge, commentator, presenter, all-around good-looking guy. And we're going to talk about all things golf this week. Got a lot of fun things to get through. If you are listening to us on Spotify and Apple Music, make sure you head over to YouTube as well to watch it on video and hit the big red subscribe button. We're going to jump straight into it because we've had somewhat of an exciting week. Even though I thought about like a week ago or so, I was like, this is going to be tough. We had LIV Golf, Adelaide, and the Zurich Classic. I didn't think anything was too, out there exciting. I tell you what, when I saw the two leaderboards, I think on the Friday with certain people leading, it wasn't really blockbuster, was it? It was
No, yeah, I'd noticed that. I was like, I looked at the board and I was like, who are these people? I was like, I had honestly no clue who they were. And then I woke up in the morning and saw that, Rory and Shane won. And I was like, what? I was like, hang on. Oh, they just came from up. Yeah.
Same from a viewer point of view. But LIV as well. I mean, LIV is supposed to be kind of something that has a blockbuster leaderboard every single week. And it definitely wasn't. I think what saved LIV is Cameron Smith winning the team event in quite an exciting playoff, which is good. But we're going to touch upon LIV versus PGA because I think this was quite an interesting week for that, with it being somewhat of a flagship tournament and LIV being in Australia. Now, they had nearly 100,000 people attend for the 3 days, not 4, which makes it even more impressive. Contrast that to the Zurich Classic, which is one thing to compare it to. Very, very different in terms of its aura. I think the LIV event, for me personally, I would choose that every single time over watching the Zurich Classic, even though we had Rory and Shane finish quite well. Then again, we've got, if we compare what's been more like for like, LIV Golf Adelaide to the Waste Management Phoenix Open in Arizona, which is both of their party tournaments. Well, I'm going to go to you first for what you've seen and heard on LIV Golf for Adelaide and whatnot, and compare it to the PGA tournaments. If you were a consumer, which you are, you're a golf nerd, if you wanted to go with your mates, if you have any, what tournament would you want to go to?
It's a great question. I mean, the thing is, when you think about LIV, you just think, well, it's plastered everywhere. Louder golf, rowdy. Well, not rowdy. I mean, rowdy's probably not there, but louder is. But it's a lot more of a party scene, I think. I'm yet to go to a LIV Golf event. I would like to attend one just to experience what it's kind of like, because I was speaking to my dad about it this morning, weirdly enough, and it almost feels like the footage and stuff you see of LIV, it's like they're playing, when you play a practice round and there's like music going on, it's a bit more of a chilled vibe. Even when we're around in Florida, it's just a bit more relaxed, like as a practice round, but it's like that across the whole entire tournament.
Yep.
So I think it would be like, in terms of with your mates, I think LIV is up there with, it's more of a party, right? And then at the end of each event, they have like musicians or DJs come in and really kind of send the house down.
Who was it? Who was one of the good ones? Was it like Kygo or someone?
Yeah, well, no, I think Kygo was the Waste Management.
Okay.
But I think for LIV, I don't know whether they should have this, but
Fisher?
Oh, maybe, yeah, because I did see Fisher was there and he was doing a shoey. That's the other thing, is that it's just everyone's kind of like ready to tee off and they're all like doing shoeys. I know it's like an Australian thing, but it's just a lot more louder, and I think it'd be a bit more of a vibe if you were going with mates. Whereas you can still have a good time at like a PGA Tour event, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit more conservative, I think is the right word.
I agree completely. What do you think, Johnny? What would you rather go watch?
I've been to a LIV event. I went to the first ever one at Centurion, which I believe you were at as well, Alex, weren't you?
Didn't you saw Alex and you like before you knew him?
Yeah, I saw Alex before I knew him. He's a hard man to miss, isn't he? He's 6'5", big grizzly beard. But to say hello.
Why
Well,
did
it's
you say
before we knew each other. Before we
could
knew
have
each
fallen
other.
in love there, mate.
But but Centurion, I thought for a first outing, I thought in terms of how it was put together was quite impressive. I wasn't kind of blown away by the golf, so to speak, or the kind of fan experience. But in terms of putting together a golf tournament for the first time, they did quite a good job. I think it's actually developed quite a lot since then. And I actually had a mate who was at LIV Adelaide on a stag do for one of his mates. And he said it was epic. He said, but yeah, I mean, as you kind of like see from the coverage, like there's a lot of drinking, people throwing stuff. Obviously, Lucas Herbert's caddy got clocked quite a water, so you obviously don't want to see that. But in terms of kind of the party atmosphere, I thought it looked rowdy enough, but not quite as unhinged as the Waste Management. Waste Management, I think, got like completely out of control. I mean, you've seen players come out and say it was kind of ridiculous and it's crossed a boundary now. And I think LIV Adelaide is still kind of on the right side of that line. So I would pick, I'd pick LIV Adelaide. I mean, it helps when you've got kind of a good number of Australian players in the field that everyone can get behind. That's
good weather.
Help out. Yeah, good weather. Yeah, good weather. I mean, I think beer in Australia is pretty damn expensive, but from what I've heard, like entry was pretty cheap as well. You get in for not a lot of Australian dollars, so that always helps. New Orleans, yeah, I mean New Orleans meant to be a fantastic party city. PGA Tour events not necessarily known for being the most rowdy affairs, but I mean I'd probably go Adelaide in this case.
I think so. I mean,
McIlroy singing "Don't Stop Believing" would be good to watch. I've enjoyed that.
That's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah,
really is.
The Waste Management Phoenix Open I've always looked at until this year. Last year, I'd be like, I would love to go to that. You know, it's rowdy. I was in Arizona last year about 2 weeks afterwards, and I was in an Uber, and one of them was just being like, "Oh, it's even crazier than you think." I think last year was the week it happened was the Super Bowl as well, so it was basically that on steroids. Like, everyone was going nuts, but I believe an issue with that is one, it's a full-on party. It's very expensive as well, and I don't think Adelaide was as pricey as you said. Funny that you said about like the recklessness scale, because I was looking at Ian Poulter's Q&A on Instagram the other day, and they were talking about Adelaide, and he said, "Oh, it was just the best tournament ever." Of course, he's going to be somewhat biased. He's not going to be like, "This is shit," because he is not a promoter team. It was rowdy, but it was on the right level of rowdy. And I think apart from Lucas Herbert's caddy getting a headshot by a water bottle being the only like hiccup, still a rather large hiccup.
That wasn't intentional though, was it? It was just...
No, I don't think a fan was being like, "I'm going to kill him." I think it was just in the moment type thing of just yeeting water bottles. And I'm not going to say, "Oh, it happens," because it's definitely not something that should happen, but it's not something whereby someone's throwing like a full beer can at someone's temple trying to cause like damage. I think it was just some drunk people throwing.
In terms of Happy Gilmore, he shouldn't have been standing there.
It was an absolute laser, though. You see it. All of the others like this, and then this water ball's just like.
No draw on that bad boy, mate.
No. The person was definitely drunk. I'm 100% sure with that. Well, I think everyone there was. But I mean, when I'm trying to compare the two, this is quite a difficult subject, really. Was it less reckless because it's in Australia, who don't usually get these type of golf tournaments, so they're more treating it like a royal thing? Whereas when you look at the PGA Tour in America, and they've got tournaments every single week, and they know it's going to be there, and it's not particularly new. Maybe they're being like, "How far can we go?" So we're going to be looking in 10 years' time with Adelaide. Is it going to just keep getting more reckless and reckless, do you think? Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right in a sense, because the Waste Management last year, although it was rowdy, I mean, this year they had to stop the sale of beer because it was just getting a bit too insane. And I think people, like last year, they saw how crazy it was at the event, and they thought, "Oh, I'm missing out on this," and you're attracting almost the wrong crowd, because a lot of people saw that and going, "Oh my god, this isn't like, I thought golf was boring. Let's go on here. This looks like a right laugh." And then you get all like the wrong. I mean, I might be wrong in saying this, because obviously golf's for everyone, but I feel like people have seen that aren't necessarily golfers. They're just there for a party, and that's kind of escalated, and it just got super, super out of hand. Whereas with LIV, I think you already are aware of the type of event it is, with the fact that it's louder. There's people like chanting and singing, and like music's playing all the entire time. People are drinking, having a good time. I think people, because they're aware of the state of affairs, it's almost like they're attracting the right audience from the get-go. But I think I guess you're right in terms of there could be a stage where people will just take it too far. It's like anything, because it's always like, oh, how far can I push the boundary of an event until it's like you're going to keep doing it until you get told no, right? So, but I think Aussies as well, Australia as well, like Aussie culture. It's just every Australian I know I've met, even when I was out there, they love a party, they love a sesh, they love just getting on it. It's just that is the nature of Australians to a T. So I think for them that was probably pretty tame. But I mean, who knows? Next year they could really push it and be like, I mean, I don't if they cut beer sales in Australia, wow, prepare for a riot.
I mean, I think what you said is a good point in that every LIV Golf event is trying to be a party, whereas as soon as one PGA Tour event is a party, everyone kind of sees blood and they go, all right, let's go absolutely nuts. With this year for London, which Johnny mentioned Centurion, it's now JCB.
JCB, yeah.
Is it where is JCB? Is that more Liverpool based?
Is it
It's definitely Midlands.
Staffordshire, isn't it?
Staffordshire. Okay, so Midlands Northern-ish.
Let me have a look. I actually don't know exactly where it is.
It's in Uttoxeter. Wow, I really butchered that.
I mean, to be fair, I was looking at that thinking, I'm not going to give this a go because I don't know how that's pronounced.
And also, I was looking at it going, I know where that is. And I was like, yeah, where the hell is that?
It is, it's near Stoke.
Where's Stoke?
So it's just north of Birmingham.
West of Nottingham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, west of Nottingham. Just below Sheffield and Manchester. But yeah, Stoke appears to be kind of the nearest. Yeah. Stoke between Stoke-on-Trent and Nottingham.
Why is that? Because I mean, Centurion it seems like quite a prestigious course.
Centurion was a really good, I think. Really good course for a really good venue. JCB is a largely corporate course, a really cool course as well. I've never played it. I'd love to watch it in JCB, but it's I think probably a bit more of an interesting track as well. I would say JCB, which is a bit strange.
We've got that par 3 on the island, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that's 17, which is like 250 yards. So I would say maybe they're going for more interesting courses. Weirdly enough, I think LIV have just announced their individual finale tournament is in Chicago at a course that isn't even rated on the top 10 for the public courses there, and it's like $60 a green fee if you want to go for it.
It's called like Bolingbroke or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something strange. But I really like JCB.
I have to say, one of the kind of like benefits and big draws of LIV is that they have that flexibility to go wherever they want. I think the fact that they've moved from Centurion to JCB is actually quite a cool thing. Before I worked for GolfMagic, I wrote a blog about how, like, if the PGA Tour wanted to adapt, they had to kind of copy Formula One and go around the world, and that's effectively what LIV has done. So the fact that they are moving around, going to different courses, I think is, I think it's great, and it's cool. It'd be cool to see JCB on TV. I know they've had kind of like some LET events there, I believe, and some like seniors tournaments. But it'd be cool to see that on the big screen.
I love the T markers, the little JCB diggers. That's really cool. Little touches like that. It's just nice.
It's meant to be a mega track.
It looks hard, and I think are we going to go? Would you like to go?
Yeah, I'd like to go.
I've got a few balls to lose. Yeah, why not?
I mean, to be fair, the leaderboards now, I mean, that's probably the best, bar the Open and maybe the Scottish Open, and the BMW. That's probably fourth best field. Maybe arguably even third best field you'll get in England.
Good point.
Well, no Manning's Heath, mate. Come on, Manning's Heath's up there.
My Saturday was right up there. All right, that should have been highlights. I tell you what will be interesting though, if we do go to, as we both have had the luxury of going to the first ever LIV event, to compare the two, because I go similar to thoughts to what you said earlier about that first LIV event, in that it was so close to being cool. But I think because it was the first LIV event, because they were giving away tickets. And when I say giving away, I don't mean like, oh, here's for £10. you could literally go on the website, enter a code, you get a 3-day ticket for free because they weren't selling. And I remember I went for the first day and I was like, this would be so much fun to go with your mates. Whereas if I'm comparing that, this is different things, because then I think the following year, only about, was it a month? Yeah, a month later, I went to St Andrews for the Open. And I'm thinking like, wow, like if we went as boys, went to JCB, then I could probably hit double digits in beers. I could have a laugh. I wouldn't pelt anyone in the head or anything, except if I lose a bet. Like, it would be respectable, but you get a little bit messy. If I'm at an Open, even at, let's say St Andrews is a pretty important one, but even Troon or something like that, I don't think I would ever go to the Open and be like, right, lads, how many beers can we smash out here? So I think they're maybe.
Would you not?
Genuinely, I don't think I would. I really don't think I would. Because I view it as a different type of thing.
I
did get slightly carried away at Royal Port Rush, but that was
did you?
Easily done. We were with a big group of Northern Irish lads, and as soon as we got through the gates, it was right. It wasn't Guinness actually. I can't remember what they had on tap. I think it was kind of like Murphy's. But they were in for the long haul, and as guests, we didn't really want to lag behind, and got quite out of hand quite quickly.
I feel like it's always, you kind of go in with the mindset going, come on guys, we're going to be really kind of chill today, but it's other people's influence, and you're there like, I mean, my rubber arm gets twisted far too easily. I'm like, okay, okay.
I'll see if I can find the photo.
Did you go for the full? Did you both go for the full 3 days then when you went to Centurion for LIV?
I just went for the first day.
Yeah, same. So which was not the weekend, and I think it did. They were always going to get negative feedback for that event because it wasn't going to be absolutely raging. And the first day was genuinely so quiet. Like, it really was quiet. Almost at the range when you see people like DJ was, for me, only like 10 foot away, and I didn't even have a media pass. I went as a consumer. So I was looking at that and I was like, this is cool for me, but oh my God, this is flops type thing because no one's here. Now it's very different. And I genuinely reckon JCB is going to be absolutely mental. Saying that, I think it'll be mental, but also is the location going to hinder them a bit because it is somewhat not in London, location-wise, people are going to have to travel.
It also feels like in the middle of nowhere.
That's what,
looking at it on the map, it's not exactly around anything. Like,
I guess you just get a big Manchester contingent, big Stoke contingent. This was the photo. Feel free to cut this out if you want, but that was me throwing up into a bin at about.
I love how that's posted as well. I really want to zoom into other people's faces.
Everyone was staring at me and laughing. It was quite embarrassing. I didn't actually chuck up. I managed to hold it together, but it was, I'm notoriously poor at downing anything. And I was like forced to down a pint at Guinness basically as soon as he walks in the gate. And
so for everyone listening and not actually watching on YouTube, Johnny just showed up a lovely photo of him crouched over a bin at the LIV Golf event. Oh, no, sorry, not a LIV Golf event.
No, that was the Open of Royal Port Rush.
At the Open, yeah.
Larry
throwing up into a bin, which his mate has lovely posted directly on Instagram.
Hey, it happens. There's a story of our editor Andy Roberts at the Open in St Andrews. I am not going to tell that story, but it is far worse than Johnny's unfortunate end there. But anyway,
that's Par FORE Podcast.
I managed to hold it together. That was just precautionary visit to the bin. Nothing came out, thankfully. Yeah, it wasn't looking good.
I think I'd be too concerned of getting too drunk, just because then I wouldn't want to do something like that. And I just picture it now, if I've got like a GolfMagic logo on me and I'm there like yakking up in a bin, and someone's like, mate,
I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that while I was working in the industry, put it that way. I think we were.
Wait, what year was Paul?
No. And you did, wasn't it last year, Johnny? You we needed you for a shoot and you turned up a little bit late. Remember, on the docks?
No, I don't recall.
Johnny wasn't here last year.
Probably wasn't me. That was probably somebody else. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that's it.
That was me. I think that was me too, actually. But actually, I tell you what, that's a good point. I think maybe in the evening, it'd be something whereby you could think let's have a party culture. But I think once I'm at the course, I don't view it like that. But then I guess it's different. I guess, as you said, it depends as to who you're with, what guests and stuff like that. I'd be intrigued to see what live is like, because we've obviously got quite a busy English period then. With that, we've then got Troon as well, of course, which again is a course that is somewhat out the way ish. Similar to the contingents that we're mentioning of LIV being Manchester. Troon is Glasgow, which is obviously a big old party town too, but it's about an hour away. So when we're comparing it to Liverpool last year, which was proper party, this is going to be a little bit different. The course, I think, is a little bit more old-fashioned and whatnot. So that'll be really fun too. But we're going to have, I think, a really good comparison for that, for LIV. We think the women's Open at St Andrews too. So we've got some really good tournaments lined up. Can we quickly touch upon the Open? We're all going. Any early favourites?
We are. Well, actually.
We are. Any early favourites? Any thoughts, vibes?
I always find the Open the hardest one to predict, personally.
Yeah,
I agree. Who's getting Brian Harman?
Exactly.
Yeah, I
say that my dad did back him, unfortunately, but
actually,
Graham.
Yeah,
wow,
you got him. I think you got him at 70-1, something like that. But my dad's got a really bizarrely good track record at backing outsiders for majors. He had Tom Watson. He had Tom Watson when he lost in the. He had him at. I think it was. He had him 50 quid at 2,000-1.
Was he 2,000?
Yeah. Well, he was so old. He was in his 50s, and then he obviously lost in the playoff to Stuart Singh, didn't he?
Oh my God, you'd be livid.
Yeah, brutal. We were watching it on TV. We were on holiday in Greece, and we could not pull my dad away from the TV for 4 days. He literally just sat inside. He was
top 5.
Yeah, it was 25 quid. Him and his mate both put in for 50 quid total bet. But yeah, would have been. And bizarrely, my brother was working in as a marshal in the grandstand as well, and was aware of what was going on. And he said it was just brutal. And obviously, everyone wanted Tom Watson to win. It would have been arguably the best story of golf for a long, long time.
Oh my God!
But yeah,
that is savage.
Yeah,
that's
savage.
Wow. The Open is a hard one to pick up. I know what you mean with that. I always think Scottish Open because of the course. I'm banking on Tommy Fleetwood just because he's I think he's getting there. But we'll save.
I think so much of it as well. All of the kind of bets can so quickly go out the window depending on the weather. If you get a morning session that's really clear and an afternoon session that's super windy, it can completely knock out half the field. I'm thinking Tom Kim up there. He played so well last year on a broken knee or an injury. Yeah, he did his ankle.
And he was storming up the field. So, and the weather was brutal. When we went, it was nice, and then the weekend just turned shit basically. And Sunday was just torrential. It was horrible. But no, I think I'd love to see Tom Kim up there. It's a good lad.
Glasgow's wet too, so we're going to probably see some moisture throughout those 4 days, which is going to be fun. That's the classic Open conditions. Anyway, we'll touch upon more of the Open majors in our previews for the week when it happens. We've obviously got some golf on this week. Singapore and LIV CJ Cup for the PGA Tour. Nothing too exciting. We have now stopped doing our picks just because no one's really listening to the picks, and we don't want to just pick favourites each week. We'll include it for our major picks going forward.
I think majors, definitely majors,
absolutely. But for now, we're going to talk about some more pressing things. And first of all, we're going to jump into a bit of equipment, as what we do on a weekly basis, as people may know, is we do review some golf clubs here and there. New, old, brand new, stuff that gets embargoed and whatnot. And there's so much stuff that comes out so much exciting stuff that comes out. And what we've been doing over the last few weeks or so is testing some weird and wacky stuff. And I think the most notable one would be the TaylorMade mini driver, the burner mini driver that we have at 13.5 degrees. So coming in at the strong 3-wood. We filmed over at Fox Hills Golf and Country Club, which was very enjoyable on a very difficult hole, the Bernard Hunt course. We've also tested it in GC Quad and stuff. Johnny, I'm going to fire it over to you here about a mini driver, because I've also had quite a lot of questions on TikTok about people asking why would people use it. Now, I think you've seen your pros and cons towards using it. What are your thoughts?
So, I mean, it's an interesting one. I'm not personally entirely convinced by it. I think if you are a player of your profile, Alex, who swings it very fast, powerful, I know, then I think it can potentially make sense as a kind of fairway finder. I don't necessarily believe for us mere mortals like me and Will, the trade-off on distance for forgiveness is good enough or big enough to constitute maybe dropping your driver or 3-wood out of the bag. And I say 3-wood because I would much rather hit a 3-wood off the deck than I would a mini driver. The profile, the like height from top to bottom, it would scare me too much. And I could be painting with too broad of a brush, but I would imagine that same fear would apply to a lot of kind of amateur golfers ranging handicaps from kind of 7 or 8, maybe even lower. But it's quite a daunting profile sat down at address off the fairway. I think it is quite a good off the tee. I wouldn't pick it over my driver personally, but I don't think it's necessarily versatile enough for amateur golfers to warrant taking out a wedge or taking out a 3-wood or a hybrid. But having said that, for the pros, like someone like Tommy Fleetwood, Rory McIlroy, who are confident they're going to just crush it off the fairway and it can reach par 5s that are 270, 280 away, obviously it has a place for them. But I think it's a bit of a niche club. I can see why they brought it out, and it's obviously been met with raucous applause. Lots of people love it. The old school aesthetics, the
aged copper, man.
Traditional aged copper. It looks amazing. If I could hit it off the deck and I was long enough to use it off the tee instead of a driver, I'd be all over it. But yeah, just not for me, this one.
Okay. Well, what do you think? I know you've seen us hit it. Have you hit it a few times?
I hit it a few times. I personally think it would be a nice mantelpiece for the bag, to be honest with you. It just looked pretty in there. It looks so nice, the retro logo, like the stamped thing. I just think it looks gorgeous. That's the thing. I wouldn't want to hit it because it looks too nice. So, I'm in agreement, actually. Like, I don't think you would replace it with a driver. No way. Replace your driver with it, sorry. But that's why with the video coming out about the comparison between the mini driver and both your gamer drivers, I think the comparison between, say, a 3-wood and a mini driver would be quite interesting, just to see the data against it, and if you really could replace your 3-wood with it, for example. But no, I mean, from the very limited, I mean, I haven't hit it on course yet. I haven't hit it at Castle Golf Works, and I was having an off day, so I don't think that's really representative of my true skill. But no, I think it looks beautiful. And yeah, I think it's leaving it to the single figures, I think, is probably
it's funny.
Perfect.
Funny you say that, because I remember we mentioned in the video as well. I completely wholeheartedly agree with both of you in terms of saying that don't use it as a replacement of your driver. I think for the majority of people buying it, I think it should replace their fairway wood rather than their driver. Driver, I still think, operates something a little bit different than this mini driver. And that's what I've done. I've got my big meathead Ping G430 Max 10K as like the, all right, me hit straight type thing. Don't really know if it's going to go draw or fade, but it's going to go straight. The mini driver is a bit more of an accurate fairway finder. I did use it yesterday when I played a few holes off that exact hole that I used it with you, Will, and I hit a really nice shot, like 280 down the middle.
To be fair, yeah,
but
it was very nice.
Takes a while to get used to, because in the weekend I tried to hit it off the tee and I stone cold topped it, because it's like genuinely not even like, I topped it 10 yards in front of me. I don't top golf balls really anymore, so that was somewhat of a surprise. Made 5 though, but it was a
just get that in, guys. You made a 5.
but it's a club that I think takes a while to get used to. I don't think it's so difficult. I think it is very difficult to hit off the fairway. But saying that, I think it's a really good club to work on your low point off the fairway. I really struggle with my low point. It's way too close to the ball itself. I don't compress the ball well enough. By being able to use a mini driver, I know if I've hit it well off the fairway that I am delivering the club the right way. Saying that, though, if you're off someone who's off like 20, 25, I don't think you don't even want to think about the phrase low point. You just want to think about hitting the ball straight.
Not in my vocabulary. I'll agree with that by now.
I'd also like to carry that. If you don't compress the ball well enough, what hope is there for the rest of us?
But I've hit 2 good shots off the fairway. Will was there for one of them. That was at Fox.
Annoyingly, it's funny you're going to be annoyed at me about this. I actually took a video panning around because you had 2 balls there. You hit an iron, and then you were like, "Oh, actually, let me have a go at hitting the mini driver off the fairway." Yeah. But I filmed the first one you hitting it, and then in my head I was like, "Oh, I should probably film this just in case it's good." But I didn't actually film it, and it was good.
It was amazing.
It was honestly lovely. It was just
a low rising draw. It went round like that, just short of the green. Didn't get up.
It was.
It's a cool club. Links golf, perfect as well. Because my one worry with hitting it off the fairway is that I'm just going to do what I did at the K Club last year, was I literally 6 foot behind the ball, chunk it 30 yards into the water. That's something I'm worried about. With links golf, when it's proper, like, really hard turf, that's something that I probably have a little bit more of a subconscious confidence over, rather than thinking, oh my God, what do I do with this thing? But I think it takes a while to get used to. It's a cool club. We're also seeing Titleist, PXG, Callaway. We're seeing pretty much everyone now release mini drivers. Should it be in people's bags over a wedge? God, no. I think wedges are more important. I'd rather people stack up their wedges than have like a driver, mini driver, 5-wood, 2-iron, then go up their bags and only have 2 wedges in there. Don't really think it's that's a smart bag. Will we ever see it in either of your bags?
No, I don't think I would find enough opportunities to use it, to be honest.
No,
I can't think of enough scenarios where I'd be like, oh, actually, I'm going to use mini driver over driver, or I'm good. It's not for me. And amusingly, when you're talking about stacking up wedges, I played with a guy this weekend, one of my friends, Zaz, and he had driver 5-iron, and then he had 7 wedges. He had 256 degrees, 258 degrees, a sand wedge, a wedge that was just W. So I don't know, it was from some like old school brand. I mean, he's kind of like just getting into golf.
Is he?
Really chuckled on the tee, and I was just kind of checking out his bag, and he had like 7 wedges. I was like, what? You've literally.
Does he use all of them?
For every yardage within like 100 yards. But I mean, in fairness to him, the best part of his game, which I thought was quite peculiar considering he's only kind of recently got into golf, was he was absolutely electric around the greens.
Yeah,
it's just being like flop shots.
Well, you should be with constant wedges in your bag. You can literally have any lie, any distance.
Yeah, the handicap committee was having words after day 1 where he kind of enforced some. He did some serious damage. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that just made me think of it because it was quite amusing checking out his bag when we started playing.
I don't think I've ever heard someone have 256s and 258s.
Yeah. Are they like any way different at all, or are they actually?
Yeah. Every single one was a different brand. I can't really tell whether he'd either gone to a charity shop, gone to like the wedges section, and just taken all of them. I was using the PXG 58 degree, the Sugar Daddy too, and I bought a new Ping S159 in the pro shop, and I was like, "Do you want to have a go with this?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, and then I actually saw his bag. I was like, "Why do you say yes? You've got literally 6 of the same wedges in your bag." But he used it all round.
What does he play? What's his handicap?
He was lethal. He doesn't have like a real handicap, but he was playing 18 for the weekend.
Oh, so he's a good golfer then.
Yeah, I mean, he's. I don't think he's ever had a lesson. He's just one of those guys who's got good hand-eye, good athleticism.
Oh, okay. I hate people like that. It infuriates me.
He can do some damage. He's going to inevitably have some blow-up holes, but he has all of the kind of like natural skill set to
fair play. That's cool.
Pretty tasty with a short hole.
Yeah. Decent. Okay, well, going from weird and wacky from from 7 wedges there, we're going to go on to our weird and wacky question of the week, the one that you will ask only when you're in a pub with your mates and you have about an hour and a half discussion with it. We're going to do this as a weekly segment, and the first question, gentlemen, I'm going to give you a hypothetical question here. So let's say you've woken up and somehow, almost like a Lost type thing, you're alone on a desert island. You are having to fend for your life, either by a means of you've got some like lions, tigers, just some animals that might really mess you up here. But
zombies?
Could be zombies, just something that's really coming for you, basically. You are going to have to fend for yourself.
What if you're coming for me, Alex?
Yeah, it could be me as well, mate. I don't know. I could be the final boss. Who knows? But to the corner, you've got a golf bag, and you've got someone saying you can choose any club, not just from your golf bag, any club at all, to be your weapon of choice. Now, have a think. I don't just want like a 7-iron. I want the actual make and model of the 7-iron.
Yeah.
And I want your
interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll give you guys a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally think there is a right answer to this one as well.
There's a right answer, is there?
I personally think there is. I think I'm quite opinionated to this one. But then again, I think if you did some more digging, there could be other things that might negate my opinion, because I haven't done too much research about it. I don't think I'm actually going to be on a desert island fending for my life anytime soon. So this is more just what at the top of my head. But everyone who's watching and listening as well, have a think, and if you are have any sort of opinions to it, let me know down in the comments what you would choose. Johnny, I'm going to go to you first. And I want to hear what your weapon would be to fend off zombies, lions, tigers, or me, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got just the ticket. I go for the Ivan Ballesteros IB Sweet Spot putter.
Little mallet.
It's like the head is tiny. It's only the size of a golf ball, and it would just be a fantastic kind of mace-like weapon. I contemplated going with a slightly more fanged design putter, but I think if you're fending off a number of opposition, you risk that getting stuck in something, and then you have to like yank it out. So I'm thinking you just want a kind of club-like design that you just kind of blunt force trauma. And it also had quite a nice thick grip from memory. I tested it at the back end at the start of this year. Steel shaft, robust, versatile weapon that would have been quite, I think, pretty. You could do some serious damage to a burglar or kind of anyone who was chasing a
zombie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was contemplating a wedge because you've kind of maybe got that kind of sharp end, but I think you want something a little bit shorter, a little bit closer. And I think putters the way to go.
Right, just like what?
But the grip, the thick, girthy grip, it's like comfortable, isn't it? So you could be swinging for days.
Yeah.
Whiskers or anything.
Yeah,
I'll allow
absolutely.
you to put a custom grip on there. You can put a Super Stroke Jumbo. Like, I'm not going to be too fussy about that. That is okay.
And it wouldn't be too heavy, so you can wield it for long periods of time.
Is it not too small though, the putter head? Because it's not like little ones that would.
Yeah, I think it's too small.
Damage. Yeah, but you want small surface area for max pressure exerted, don't you?
It's interesting.
That's why a fang would be good, because you've got all of the pressure going through that small point, so you could potentially pierce. I've thought about this way too much, but really? The Ivan Ballesteros, I think, I can't think for the life of me of a more aerodynamic putter for just doing damage.
Do you think engineers of like certain brands think about this when they make putters?
I doubt it. I think they're more interested in in MOI and soft feeling across the face rather than potential apocalyptic scenarios.
Yeah. Well, that's I like that. The Ivan Ballesteros putter is definitely a little bit of a curveball, but I do think putter is the right play. Willie Woods, I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. What would be your weapon of choice?
So I'm going to go. Well, I love how Johnny was like, I'm going to go smaller, more like, because you can flang it around everywhere. But I'm going to go the Nike Sasquatch meaty driver head. I'm going for that because it's absolute beast. Like, this thing is huge, and it's like it's just in a weird shape, and I reckon getting
loud death.
Yeah, that'll be loud. Oh, yeah. Like, imagine being like, oh, you just got murked by a Sasquatch driver.
Is it? Does it remind me of Step Brothers when he hits him when they both clock each other at the same time? I think that's driver. Yeah.
I was thinking that, but then for some reason, as you were talking, I kind of thought, oh, what about that swingless golf driver, which has the little bit that pokes out the end of it? You press the button, you basically line up the ball behind it, press button, and it just launches it like 300 yards.
Yeah.
Not sure how that would work in a fighting situation, but you go up to someone, press the button, it'd be like, like incision right in.
Like the No Country for Old Men, the like pressure gun on the end of the canister.
1 second, reload.
I reckon. But no, I'm going Sasquatch. I think. Yeah. I think it's being.
Sasquatch is good. Sasquatch is good.
I think it's good.
Part of me
Come on, Alex. Are you so?
I love the idea of Will getting close enough to a lion, load up his automated golf swing gun, cap it in the head.
I don't even drive it. What do I do here? So don't eat me zombie for 1 second.
Bear with. It's Sasquatch.
What I was thinking for mine, so initially I was like, do I just take it like a driver shaft, just take it out and then just use it as like a stick and just bat people off because that's really light. But I think I would run out of stamina because it wouldn't like hurt anyone. It would just be like a little weapon that's like light.
It would also surely snap, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a Ventus Black or something, surely. It's quite stout and it's an aftermarket shaft. So I think it's.
I was just going to say, is it stout? Is it a stout shaft you're going for?
I'm going for a super stout shaft. Yeah. But I would say that wouldn't be what I pick because I think I would run out of steam. I would then ask the zombies for a break. I'd be like, lads, I'm a little bit tired. I've just smacked you about a little bit. Yeah, can you stop it? Will would like that though because it would give him time to reload his little pellets through his.
Absolutely, yeah. Write the numbers up. Like, oh, cool.
One second. But no, mine was definitely putters, and my initial thought was the Odyssey White Hot number 7 with that wonderful insert that's very smooth. That's got a little grind on it as well, so I can bat them about, but in the fangs. But my thought behind that, as Johnny has said, is that I think I hit one. I'd be like, shit, I've got to get off. So I think I've still gone for a putter, but I've gone for a little bit of a modern putter. And I've gone for the LIV Golf Mez Max because that putter is not as fang-based. It's not going out, but it's got some real sharp edges on it. And I've got a thick grip. It's got it's got stout shaft, but it's quite light as well. Mm-hmm. And I'd probably do it in 33 inches, so it's a little bit shorter than usual. So I can really wield it as an absolute
literally.
Yeah. And what I do then, so Will, you can keep reloading your driver while I'm going batting people off, and then you then boom headshot, and then even Johnny's there as well. I think we'd be quite a good team
with the IB.
Yeah, just like that.
I thought you might go for a belly passer, Alex. You can properly swing it around your head,
around,
clearing people out,
shoelace, and be like spinning it.
I think my shoulders would pass out after a good, 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah,
that would be a bit too heavy. But then again, I could get a short belly putter into it. But either way, I think there's 3 good picks. Everyone listening and watching, I would employ you guys to either tweet us, Instagram us your thoughts, or if you are watching on YouTube, let us know what the most dangerous golf club on earth is, despite any club in my hands on a long par 4 with water to the right. So we're going to finish this off with a new segment as well, which will be our GolfMagic Birdie and Bogey of the week. We're going to talk about what we've got up to over the last week or so, from golf success to golf failures. Over the last week, myself and Johnny were the main people that played golf this week. Johnny, let's start it off with you. And I feel like with your... You know what? You can include a GolfMagic Birdie and Bogey. How about let's do one each, because I feel like you have got
Okay.
You got a Birdie and Bogey you can talk to me about this week.
Yeah, I've got a bogey. So my bogey is just my golf game in general right now. Driver in hand, anything over 200 yards. I on my mission to get to single figures this year, it's kind of gone completely in reverse. And I was playing at this point last year, I was playing like some of the best golf I've ever played. And now I'm just kind of clueless with a lot of clubs in my hand, which is really quite depressing. It keeps me up at night. But thankfully, my birdie of the week consoles me. And I'm just going to go in.
Oh, While he's going to get that, I actually have a birdie and a bogey.
I'll go for it. Go for them, William.
Yeah. So when he's back, it's more because it was last week. But you can count that because it was between now and then.
So this is my dog, who's actually called Birdie. And she's my birdie of the week. And she keeps me company when my golf game's gone to poop.
Little girl.
So this is my birdie. Is my birdie of the week.
That wins. That's your birdie of every week, mate.
That is.
I'm just gonna put her back on the sofa where she was asleep.
Oh, that's so cute, man. I was not expecting that. I was like,
the podcast doesn't get 1 million views now just because we saw a little corgi in shot. If everyone's listening as well, I do apologise that you don't get to see Johnny's wonderful dog. And it's the cutest dog I've seen for quite some time. Will, you said you did have a bogey and birdie. Sorry for not including you to begin with. What are yours?
that's fine, mate. That's fine. It's like I'm not even here. So my bogey is my short game is just abysmal. It's awful. It's so bad that I just no. I might start using more the Colin Morikawa technique of fairway wooding off the green, with the hopes of it going near or in the hole. That would be lovely, like he did last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And my birdie of the week was I'm pretty sure I'm a blade man now. The way I was hitting Alex's irons on the shoe last week, honestly, right?
I wasn't that.
I was hitting them so well. Even on the par 3 where we were putting a video together after when you left. Oh.
They're not.
Oh, whatever.
They're 243s. They're players' distance irons.
Hey, well, they're more blade-like than what I've currently got, so I'm just leaving it alone. But yeah, I was honestly, considering a few days before that, I just wasn't hitting the ball well. Well, no, was it the day before? Whenever we went to Custom Golf Works, me and Johnny were having an absolute shocker of a day of a session. That's golf. That's what it's all about. But I just couldn't hit the ball properly. But I thought, I'm going to have a little go because we're just finishing up the shoot. And pured it onto the green. It was lovely. And the crowd went wild. So, I'm going to say.
Well. With the thick grips as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I think there's thick grips because I've got big old hands. So I think I need some thickness in my life. So, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Fair, I can't even argue against it. You did pure it. They are not blades. They are 32 degrees loft as a 7-iron. They are not traditional at all, but they do they are compact down at address. They are quite a short heel to toe length. So I'll let you have it. He did hit the ball very well. That's certainly a birdie. What can I do for my bogey? So my bogey is that I am similar to Will. My short game is genuinely the worst it's ever been. I'm actually going to put some B-roll up on the screen of 2 shots that I hit yesterday. It's not even it's 30 yards away and I'm hitting it to 30 foot. It's like I'm 30 yards away and I'm shanking it or something like that. And I'm getting so, excuse my language, I'm getting so pissed off in the fact that I can hit some really good shots. Like yesterday, I hit on, the 4th hole, I hit 4-iron middle of the fairway, 7-iron to 3 foot and I hold the putt for birdie. And the 6th hole, I was in the rough 50 yards away, nearly missed the ball. I towed it so badly, and then I shanked it into the river. And I'm there why can't I just be more just put more of that, I don't want to be so far on the opposite ends of the spectrum. I want to be more consistent. That being said,
too many swing thoughts.
No, it's just genuine. I just don't know what to do. I need a short game lesson. I know whatever I'm doing is so wrong. Because even my pre-shot routine, my practice swings, I'm trying to I need to read that book. I need to use that as my Bible every single night. But that being said, a book only does so much to me because I've read that and then I'm doing pre-shot routines and stuff, trying to hit and use the bounce of the club. I'm doing it, and my divot in my pre-shot routine is like a bloody pancake. I'm not using the bounce well. Something's going wrong, and it's just somewhat depressing. But that being said,
Dan Green's book.
That being said, my thought behind this is that it's quite embarrassing. And I played on the weekend, and I played in quite an interesting competition. Actually, it was a match play against the course, so a bogey comp, whereby if you make a net bogey, the course goes 1 up. If you make a net birdie, you go 1 up. And I was like, oh, okay, this will be fun. My course is playing quite hard at the moment because it's not dry enough yet, so we're not getting any rollout. And I hit, again, some awful shots there. My short game wasn't too bad, but I topped a mini driver, I topped a 5-iron, I was hitting things out of the toe and whatnot, but my bad shots, despite being really bad in terms of ball striking, were going straight. And so I think I was like 4 over through 9, then I went double bogey, and I was like, all right, my round's done then. Time to snap my clubs in half. But then I just decided not to do that. 2 under for the last 6 holes, which was good. And I shot my handicap, and I beat the course 1 up. And I looked at the leaderboard, and I was like, oh, no one else has beat the course. So I actually won the competition, which is my my birdie of the week.
And this is why you text me going, I've had 3 beers. What are you up to? I want to go out. I just won the
Yeah. Guilty as charged. That was after my haircut, and I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit loose right now. And I got cut 0.3. I need to get cut 0.1 more now, and I'll be off 4, which is good. But my advice from what I saw then is, look, everyone hits dreadful shots, and before, I think a year ago, my mental game's still bad, and my reactions to those shots were still pretty poor. But I wouldn't let it affect me after 5 minutes or so. Like, everyone hits poor shots, even if you're off scratch. I think it's more as to what you do after that next shot. I think what I kept doing in this round of golf is, like, for instance, on the 13th hole, I had a really good drive, but just a little bit left. Tried to hit a 5-iron in the par 5. I topped it 60 yards ahead of me, and I then hit a lob wedge to 3 foot and made birdie. So it's like I actually recovered quite well, and I did that quite consistently. Yeah. So if you are listening and you are going through a bad patch and you're hitting some bad shots, don't shit the bed. Don't think, oh my God, round's over in 1 bad shot. It's how you recover from that. A lot of professional golfers will say that.
A lot of the time, even when I do a really bad shot, I would then recover with a really nice shot. And you kind of think that wouldn't have happened if I didn't hit a horrific shot before that. Like, yeah, you take bad shots, but then it's what you do to overcome that. And I always try to say to myself, always to take at least one good thing from each hole, even if something from one hole is surely going to be good. It could be anything. Yeah, as long as you take one good thing from that and then go to the next, done. But I know it's easier said than done. And that's why we love the game of golf.
You're only one good shot away from a good score.
Exactly.
On a whole, I would say.
Hitting bad shots is good because you learn from it. Like, I'm looking at the bad shots I hit yesterday, and at the weekend, I'm like, well, I'm going to learn. That's what I need to work on, type of thing. No round of golf involves every single shot being perfect. I think I'm I'm bad at doing that. Like, I will hit a shot out of the toe out of the heel, and I'll hate it, and yet it will still go straight onto the green, in which then my playing partners will include it, be like, why have you just said you've hated it when you actually hit a good shot? The search for perfection in golf is something that will never get solved. No one will always hit a good shot every single time. It's, I think, how you cope with things like that. And if your bad shot is a dead straight shot, then you're going to be a very, very good golfer. That's why I say to my playing partners, if you thin one down the middle and you're like, oh no, I'm like, mate, that's gone straight down the middle. You can make a putt birdie from here. Who cares? There's no pictures on the scorecard. That's the advice that we give you here from GolfMagic. We're running out to the end of the podcast now. What we got lined up for next week or so from a GolfMagic point of view and personal? Well, I want to come to you first. What have you got lined up with? If you've got any golf lined up, if not, what have we got videos coming out?
No golf this week. I might head down to the range tomorrow. I feel like I haven't hit a ball in quite some time, and by quite some time, I mean probably just less than a week, which in the golf industry feels like a month. So I'm going to try to get down the range, hone on my skills. But then coming up on the YouTube channel, we've got as I mentioned before, the TaylorMade Mini Driver versus your gamers, which I think should be an interesting video. And then we've also got the Odyssey Cruiser putter review coming out.
Oh yes.
Which would be interesting. So got a few good things lined up. It should be a good week.
Good stuff. Johnny, you got any funny and fun reviews coming up soon? What you got lined up on the website?
I hope none of them are funny. I don't think there are any of them are funny. But we got still got a lot of shoes to get through. Had some good shoes already tested in 2024. Still more to come. Some irons, some Cleveland irons, various other bits and bobs. Just kind of, just keeping things ticking over, really.
Good stuff.
A lot of deals posts. So if you need a good deal on some gloves, bags, shoes, whatever from American Golf, Scottsdale Golf, head over to the website, get some good discounts. Yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's been any exciting equipment news recently. Patrick Cantlay recently changed his irons. He had a set of Titleist Ep.4s, I think, from about 2017.
Wow.
And he's had them in the bag for 7 of his PGA Tour wins, and he's now switched into a set of Ping Blueprint S's. So that was quite substantial. But yeah, no, all is good on site.
Good to hear, and all is good at GolfMagic, and I hope all is good for everyone watching and listening to the Par 4 podcast presented by GolfMagic. It's been fun. We're going to tune in next week as well after the bank holiday and talk about all things golf too. And then when we come into 1st of May's day, we're going to talk about the PGA Championship in the next coming weeks as well, as I will have, I think I teased it a last podcast, I'll tease it again. I've got an all-time bet that I'm going to put £50 of real money on. It's going to win me £4,500 back. I know people listening don't believe me, as the only £10 I've actually put on real money. I put on a Jake Knapp to finish in the top 10, and I think he finished nearly dead last. So please don't take my tips as actual tips. I am more
take mine.
Don't take any of ours. But that has been myself, Will, and Johnny for the Par 4 podcast presented by GolfMagic. Make sure you tune in next week for more fun questions, comments, and whatnot. But we'll catch you at the next one.